This is Trabr. We're creating the technology and the ecosystem for everything building. We're creating a market network which boasts a marketplace and a mobile-first, cloud-based suite of project control tools for builders, consumers, trades, suppliers, for everybody. All on the smartphone, all remote, all mobile, all for building. This is Trabr, and this is a building conversation. G'day, this is Tony Huxley from Trabr Limited. I'm delighted to be joined today by the head of Cape Cod Australia and in his spare time the president of the New South Wales HIA, Rob Moerman. G'day Rob.
G'day Tony, how's things?
Good. Thanks for joining us, really appreciate you making the time. How conscious and aware do you think, from your observations at least, is the building sector about COVID-19?
Well, I tell you, in the first 6 weeks, if I received one more email in relation to COVID-19 issues, I was going to tear my hair out. But really, both the HIA and NBA worked really hard to provide the information to the industry as a whole.
Yeah.
And I think that was extremely successful. I think that whether they be the subcontractors and or the builders actually understood that they were fortunate to be able to be working, so they actually used it and applied the social distancing from a planning perspective, not sort of having too many people on a site. I think clients in general, when you went through the process, were very accepting of it. So, I mean, really, I think overall they've managed it as well as could be expected, but that was as much because most tradespeople would have seen the queues outside of all the unemployment lines and thinking,
I get it.
How fortunate am I still jumping in my car? Now, whether that's going to wear off in the short term or not, I'm not too sure. However, initially, I think they've adapted to it really well.
So have you physically or structurally had to change your, for example, site processes around COVID-19?
I mean, we're heavy planners, so we
that helps, does it?
Absolutely. So we just consciously, where we may have doubled up trades, we've actually then just reduced that. So it may extend the time frame of the build from a 16-week to an 18-week or
incremental.
However, overall, so it hasn't been too bad. I mean, some of our trades, let's say our plumbers who work often in groups of 3 and 4, will probably only go with 2. So just so that they can actually manage that side of it a little bit better. But
so they're doing it. That's the main.
Absolutely.
Thing. Yeah. All right, that's excellent.
There's been no shortage of information.
Yeah, well, as you said, our inboxes are full of it, and social media is chock-a-block with it. Yeah. So look, let me ask, with a checkered, I guess, if not unwelcome media profile in recent years, and most particularly sort of more in the medium to high density development space, it would be fair to say that building sector has been in for significant change, if not upheaval. From your experience, where do you see that manifesting most in the future?
Look, there's very little doubt that changes are required. However, smashing builders with red tape and compliance should not be the whole answer. And I think the issue has been that they've actually gone in with a single focus. Training and compliance and levels of licensing should be all part of the armoury to actually deal with the issue, not just the one area. And just going in with a baseball bat to create fear doesn't necessarily help, because what happens with the good guys, and which is often a lot of the smaller builders, it becomes too hard and they do exactly what you've said, and they actually say, this is too hard, I'm going to step out of the industry. Whereas the sharks that are out there will continue to be out there because they're fearless. So they just find ways around it. So I think a big area is licensing.
And in what respect, sorry?
Well, at the moment you can go and get yourself a builder's license, which then covers you from doing the smaller renovation or backyard extension that some people might think is easier, to doing 3-storey walk-ups. I mean, at the moment, you don't need a license to a multi-storey building.
Which is insane.
Exactly.
That's crazy.
So I could be building also a by way of example, a $500,000 home new build or a $1.5 million new build. Now, obviously, the levels of complexity change. So therefore, I mean, the best builders are those that have got maturity and have been around the traps for a long period of time. So, to suggest that I can come out of university with any level of education, which is absolutely important, without a level of practical experience, is really just, I believe, not a great starting point. So therefore, I think that if they my preference would be that they would look at licensing as well as training as well as compliance. I mean, compliance is essential.
Yeah, I get it.
So I'm not discounting that that's important, but that seems to be the focus.
So question without notice, but I guess as an extension of what we were just touching on, I think one of the biggest cost imposts in building and potentially one of the biggest issues moving forward is that of insurance.
I mean, let alone being able to get any form of professional indemnity insurance. I mean, you look at our independent certifiers at the moment, their costs for liability is just massive. Obviously that gets passed on. And then you go to your registered engineers and surveyors, and it just, the costs are enormous.
So the actual, the opportunity to take those changes, compliance changes and improvements, do you think that could ever be seen, that might cascade through to insurance, so that all of a sudden ensuring the building project could become not such a horrendous number, and, will insurers ever pass on those sort of gains and benefits and as savings to builders and therefore through to consumers, or unlikely?
In my lifetime.
Okay, I get you. No, it's a long bow. I get it.
Yeah, it's a hard one to see. So generally, in my experience, prices go up before a long way before they start to come down.
Rob Moerman, thanks for your time. It's been fantastic. Appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Good on you.